Please stand for the national anthem. Please remove your hats. I'm Greg Kegel, Chancellor of MSU-Northern. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of Montana State University Northern, I'm granted the honor of welcoming each of you as we celebrate the accomplishments of the classes of 2020 and 2021. Please take a moment to mute or turn off your cell phones this time. Students, due to health protocols, I've been told I'm not to give you hugs or shake your hands when you come up for pictures. Please feel free to take your masks off for your picture if you feel comfortable doing that. Thank you. Now, please allow me to introduce our platform guests. I ask that each person stand and remain standing as I call their names. Please hold your applause until the last person is introduced. Mr. Joel Soyseth, Professor of Arts and Sciences, and our Faculty Marshal. Dr. Darlene Sellers, Interim Dean, College of Arts and Science and Education. Ms. Maura Gatch, Vice Chancellor of Enrollment Management. Mr. Corey Kopp, our Dean of Students. Ms. Erica Kinnan-Hansen, our Commencement Speaker. And I'd also like to introduce a few special guests. Sherry Kegel, my wife. Todd Hansen, our Commencement Speaker's husband. Erica McKinnon Hansen. This time I would now like to invite our Student Senate President, Riley Mortensen, to address our graduates.
Okay. Good morning, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. So here we are, sometime between 2 and however many years it took us to get here, we're leaving college. My name is Riley Mortensen, and I'm not quite the outgoing ASMSUN president, as I have a few classes to finish up in the fall. I want to start by saying congratulations to the 421 eligible MSU-Northern students graduating. You have accomplished one of the major early milestones in our lives, college graduation. This is a major step in the journey of our lives, one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also one of pride. We worked hard to get to this day, and our work didn't go to waste. A college degree is a wonderful tool in this world, one that opens many doors of opportunity for anyone who is lucky enough to have one. So where to from here? The answer to that question is as varied as the students who make up this year's graduating class. Many of us know, or claim to know, exactly the next step to take, whether that step is going to grad school, a full-time job, or even a backpacking trip through Europe. Others, like me, will tell you we have no idea or little idea of what we're doing. The big thing about college is learning about yourself, and many of us will leave our majors with some vague idea of a job we'd like to get or a business we'd like to start, but nothing more. Whatever we decide, most of us will agree that Havre was the perfect place to foster our minds and bodies in the critical learning phase. The city has been nothing but accommodating to our sometimes silly, sometimes rowdy behavior. The same can be said to our wonderful university. I'm a totally different person than I was coming in as a freshman 5 years ago. Yes, 5. I'm not quite done. I hope I'm also a better one. I've learned so much about my field, my interests, myself, and so on. I feel like if I were to go back in time, my younger self wouldn't even recognize me, in more ways than one. I can only hope this passion for learning carries over when I have to search out the information myself instead of blinking into class and taking notes. I suppose real-life experience will teach all of us a lot either way. Parents, you're probably wondering where the years have gone. As you marvel at your sons and daughters' accomplishments, it doesn't seem that long ago when these young adults we honor today were toddlering off to kindergarten. Of course, living through those years between kindergarten and graduation may seem like an eternity for all the students, and for some parents as well. You're the graduating classes of 2020 and 2021. Wherever your future takes it, let it take you somewhere. Life is a journey, and all accomplishments we achieve during this course should be taken as starting points for further achievements. Our graduation should serve as such a launching point, projecting us to wherever our futures are meant to take us, whether we land ourselves a career, start our own company, or continue our education at graduate school. Congratulations to the spring and fall classes of 2020 and 2021.
I'd now like to recognize those at MSU-Northern who have contributed significantly to helping these graduates achieve today's milestone. First, the faculty of MSU-Northern who dedicate their lives to student success. The year has been a tough year. The last 18 months have been, like all of us say in the profession, nothing like we've ever seen before. And the faculty have gone up and beyond the call of duty to do what they needed to do. And I want to do a special call out to them for what you've done for these students. We made it, we did it. Thank you. Would those faculty please stand as I announce your college? The College of Arts and Sciences and Education. The College of Health Sciences. These are the educators who, in partnership with family and friends, have contributed significantly to the achievement of the personal milestones that we will be celebrating today. Thank you all. In addition to the faculty, MSU-Northern staff contribute greatly to the success of our students. Thank you to everyone who has contributed time and effort in order to make today's ceremony memorable. At this time, I'd also like to recognize this year's retirees. Dr. Darlene Sellers, Dean of the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education. She is retiring after 23 years of dedicated service to MSU-Northern. Ms. Vicki Klaus, Assistant Professor of Biology and Earth Sciences. She is retiring after 18 years of dedicated service to MSU-Northern. And Mr. Lawrence Slofelt, Assistant Professor of Plumbing Technology. He is retiring after 14 years of dedicated service to MSU-Northern. I also want to recognize at this time recent retirees who have been granted emeritus status. The title of Professor Emeritus is awarded for outstanding and meritorious service as well as individual distinction to MSU-Northern. Such service has been demonstrated by leadership, meritorious teaching, and contributions to the institution. Emeritus status is a capstone to one's academic career. Mr. Thomas Welch received emeritus status at the March 2021 Board of Regents meeting following 39 years of service. Please join me in the congratulation of Mr. Thomas Welch. Mr. William Danley received emeritus status at the May 2020 Board of Regents following 45 years of service. Please join us in congratulating Mr. William Danley. And Dr. Lawrence Strizich received emeritus status at the May 2020 Board of Regents meeting following 30 years of service. Please join us in congratulating Dr. Lawrence Strizich. Dean Corey Cope, will you now make some special introductions?
Good morning. We recently had the pleasure of recognizing a group of students for their overall contributions to the university. Every year, Student Excellence Awards are presented to recipients who were nominated by peers, faculty, and administration for scholarship, outstanding service, and achievements at Montana State University Northern. Will the following Student Excellence Award recipients from both the 2 previous years as well as today stand and be recognized as I call your names? Please hold your applause until all the names have been called. Abigail Ellison, Adam Hughes, Alec Breeding, Alex Goldhahn, Amos Tezwa, Brittany Olivia Garden, Casey E. Kane, Cody Thomas Murphy, Devin Giacomo Bray, Erica Anderson, Kashay Pism Ahenakew Baker, Lana Joy Gibbs, Luke Burton Retch, Maceo McCadney, Mackenzie Gunter, Morgan Mason, Nicole LaFond Rooney, Petra Linnea Sellen, Riley Lucero Peterson, Ryan Bennett Roach, Robert Francis Pear III, Samuel W. Smith, Shania Neubauer, Timothy Tracy, and Wiley Novak. Thank you.
And I would like to introduce Dr. Sellers for some announcements.
I would like now to recognize our students who are graduating with honors from Montana State University Northern. The Maroon Corps designates that the student is graduating cum laude or with minimum GPA of 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. The Silver Corps designates magna cum laude or a minimum GPA of 3.75. The Gold Corps designates the highest honors of summa cum laude. These students are graduating with a 4.0 GPA. All honors graduates, please stand. Please be seated. Your program also designates students who are graduating with department distinction. These graduates are selected by faculty and their departments for their outstanding performance at Northern. All students graduating with department distinction, please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. We are pleased to honor all graduates who have served in the armed services. The red, white, and blue cords designate these graduates. Will all veteran graduates please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Chancellor Kegel will now address the graduates.
It is my honor to be standing here today to congratulate and address the graduating classes of 2020 and 2021. I'd like to thank all the parents, grandparents, spouses, children, siblings, extended family, and friends for the support you have given these graduates in the pursuit of this accomplishment. This is a great class. These are great classes. I can't really tell you what we've really all gone through to get here today, and it's been interesting for me because it isn't just our students and it isn't just the faculty. It's everyone that's here today. The pandemic threw a curveball at all of us, and we were in the height of our glory, I think, right before that. In a lot of ways, we were looking forward to a lot of things that were going to happen in the last 2 years, and it just got truncated. And when I came back from a Board of Regents meeting last year, I was notified that I'd been exposed to COVID-19, and at that time, we hardly knew what COVID-19 was. And I went into isolation, and we kind of fought through what we were going to do with the university for a few days, but it didn't take long. We were closing buildings and shutting the public out, and trying to figure out how to get every class that we were teaching online, trying to close out big labs and nurses from doing clinicals. I mean, it was chaos. But our faculty did step up. Our Office of Learning stepped in, and they helped all of our faculty do what they needed to do to be able to go online, to be able to work with students that couldn't come in, and to be able to teach out from maybe home if they had to. So we rallied. And, I tell people that, as far as Northern goes, going into the pandemic, we were number one in upward mobility. We were number one in the state of Montana, 15th best in the nation at being able to take students from here and let them leave up here. Our graduates are the number one wage earning graduates in the system. 100% placement, all of the good things. But what I was worried about last spring was if anybody would even come back with the students just say, it's not worth it. I don't want to go to a school where most everything is online and we're not doing things face-to-face and hands-on. And then when fall came around, I worried who would come. Enrollments were tanking across the country, and our enrollment held. And this spring, our enrollment was up over last fall. And so I began doing these little Chancellor walkabouts this spring, and had the opportunity to stop in. I probably stopped and talked to a number of you in your classes. And the big message there was to tell you how proud I am of what you're doing, to be able to stay and persist, to be able to accomplish what you started to accomplish, to not be deterred, to stay on task, to persist, you know, all of those things. And you did. And here you are sitting here today. You ignored the fact that we had to cancel our entire college calendar, every event. We haven't had this event right here. We had an event the other night, but this is like the first event in 18 months since we closed everything down. And last year when I had to close the ceremony for commencement, it was like the worst thing, probably the worst thing we ever had to do, to tell students that they couldn't come and graduate, that we had to do it virtually or send them diplomas in the mail. So I'm really, really honored that the students that came back from the class of 2020 came to participate. When I visit with students, I tell them, the one thing that you have to do, you have to walk, you have to go across the stage, you have to take that ceremony and remember it, because it's a big accomplishment. It's a big thing for you, and it's a major thing for your family. All the people that were behind you pushing and helping, this is an accomplishment. And to do it in a national pandemic like we had, it's even a bigger thing. I wished I had the opportunity in the last couple of years to meet you and do things with you that I normally do as a chancellor. I feel like I got robbed a little bit. Through the years, we have many events at the chancellor's house, and those events include all of our students and clubs and athletes, and I do feel a little bit robbed, and I'm hoping that we can get back to having those events and having activities, and I'm hoping the pandemic is, you know, like in our rearview mirror. So with that, I'll end by saying that you've accomplished more than I can tell you to stay on task and to get this degree. You're sitting in a great place, because out there in the real world, they're waiting for you, and they're excited to have you. And this is a time like no other for opportunities for graduates. You're going to be, in a lot of cases, able to pick between multiple jobs. And it's a good place to be if you've got the skills and the background that you've got from going to MSU-Northern. So congratulations, graduates. I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you. What you've done is worthy of a big celebration. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce our 2021 commencement speaker, Ms. Erica McKinnon Hansen. Erica is a Phillips County, Montana native, having been born and raised in Montana. She has spent 21 years as a professional educator and more than a decade as a science faculty at 2 Montana tribal colleges, in addition to time as a science teacher at Havre High School. Erica came to MSU-Northern in January of 2016 as a project director of our Little River Institute. In addition to this role, Erica has served as the MSU-Northern Public Health Officer for 1 year during the height of the coronavirus pandemic, and as co-principal investigator of a research project at MSU-Northern on harmful algae blooms. Erica was appointed in 2018 by the Hill County Commission to serve as the Hill County Board of Health member, and currently serves as board vice chair. Erica holds a Bachelor's of Science in Biology with a minor in chemistry from the University of Mary. She's a proud alum of MSU-Northern with a Master's of Science in Education, and most recently earned a Master's of Public Health degree in 2015 from Johns Hopkins University, Bloomington School of Public Health. She and her husband Todd reside in Havre and have 6 daughters. Eric is most recently honored this spring by the Associated Students of MSU-Northern with a Golden N Award for her recognition and devotion and service to the students of MSU-Northern. Please join me in welcoming Ms. McKinnon Hansen.
Thank you, Chancellor Kegel, for the introduction. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our administration, our distinguished faculty, dedicated staff, students, graduates, and most especially the families of our graduates who are here in person or watching remotely. I remember vividly a similar day 18 years ago when I received my first master's degree in status as an MSU-Northern alumnus. It was right here in this gymnasium. And my family, including my husband and our oldest 3 daughters, were sitting right up there, high in the nosebleed section, sharing in this moment with me. We had all sacrificed and worked hard for the master's hood I received that day. Graduates, I am so happy that your families are able to be with you here today and share in this memory that I promise will last a lifetime. I have had the opportunity to participate in many graduation ceremonies over the years, a few times as a graduate myself, but most often as a faculty member at Stonechild College and later Aani Nakota College, celebrating our students receiving their degrees. Today, however, is the first time I have had the distinction of participating in graduation as a commencement speaker. I want to tell you a little story about how I've found myself in this moment. About a month ago, my friend Jamie Duke called. She's also known on campus as the interim dean of the College of Health Sciences. Jamie said, "I want to give you a heads up on an email you are going to receive from myself and Dr. Darlene Sellers. As you've all just learned, Dr. Sellers is the interim dean of the College of Arts, Science, and Education." I thought, okay, you have my interest, Jamie. What could this be? Jamie proceeded to say, "Dean Sellers and I are looking for someone to speak to both of our colleges, and we thought of you because of your experience in both public health and education. We thought you would have wisdom to share that is relevant to the graduates in both of our colleges. Will you do it?" Without hesitation, I said, "Sure." Saying no is not exactly my strong suit. Besides, I thought, it will be a smaller ceremony, most likely in the sub-ballroom. This must be something new they've decided to do with both colleges given the restrictions of COVID. It was a couple of weeks later that I happened to see my name listed on the graduation planning documents as the commencement speaker. Not a small, more intimate ceremony, but the commencement in the Armory Gymnasium and on center stage. Plus, I learned at the same moment it would be live streamed for all to see. No pressure. So thanks, Deans Duke and Sellers. I stand before you today, and this story leads me to my first pearls of wisdom for all of you. First, remember to ask clarifying questions so that you clearly understand what is being asked of you before you answer. Second, be ready to take on any challenge, even if it means doing something you have never imagined for yourself. Others can often see potential that you may never see in yourself. Those are the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. It is a gift to work with colleagues who push you outside of your comfort zone while supporting and encouraging you. Dean Duke and Sellers were right about one thing. I do have a vast array of experiences and educational background that have led me to this moment. I'm certainly flattered that they both believed I have wisdom that is worthy of sharing with newly minted graduates. However, this is not going to be a commencement address by someone who has climbed the ladder and reached the top one promotion at a time. In fact, The last position I accepted, which was not long after I had completed my hard-earned Master's of Public Health degree from the Johns Hopkins University, involved accepting a lower salary, and it meant leaving a job I had loved for 8 years, teaching my beloved students at Aninakota College, some of whom are sitting here today as MSU-Northern graduates. Let me tell you, I faced serious questions from some friends and family about what I was thinking. I have been in the new position now for more than 5 years and haven't regretted it for a minute. I have had the privilege of building a new program from the ground up at MSU-Northern to benefit my beloved tribal college students and all other students who have chosen this institution for their education. Those who truly know me, who I am, and what motivates me, know that this was a new opportunity for me to use my education and experience in service to others. I want to challenge you all today to find ways to use your new education and experiences in ways that contribute to your community in a positive way. For me, I have found career satisfaction by using the privilege I have from my education, privilege that you now have with your college degree, to help others, and I am just lucky enough to get paid to do it. I say this to you, earning your degree isn't just about making more money, although that is definitely a bonus. It is about gaining access to knowledge that allows you to be in positions that make a positive impact in the lives of others. It makes my heart happy knowing that our new graduates will do just that with their degree from Montana State University Northern. As you receive your new degree today, with all of the dreams and aspirations that led you to choose your particular field of study, I say to you, be open to opportunities that you have never imagined for yourself. As I earned my first degree, a bachelor's degree in biology with a chemistry minor, I sat at my graduation not knowing exactly what my next step would be. Possibly graduate school, or maybe I would pursue employment at a laboratory. Even though I didn't know exactly what my next move would be, I knew it definitely wasn't going to be in the field of education, and certainly not teaching in any capacity. To my surprise and great fortune, I found myself nearly 2 years later with an opportunity to share my passion for science with others through teaching at Stonechild College. This unexpected opportunity would change the trajectory of my life and shape my career. I am forever grateful to the president and board of directors at Stonechild College for giving my 23-year-old young, naive, ambitious self a chance to discover my passion for teaching and embark on a now over 2-decade career in education. Graduates, be open to opportunities, even if you are certain they aren't for you. This commencement ceremony is like no other in the history of Montana State University Northern. We are all here today to celebrate you, our graduates, from the past 2 years. Not only have you completed the requirements of your program of study, but you have done so under the unimaginable conditions as a result of the unprecedented coronavirus pandemic. This speaks volumes to your resilience, your resolve, and your adaptability to change. I feel confident in saying that all of you found yourself having some of the most challenging days of your life in the past 18 months. You likely had to complete a course online that you would have preferred be delivered face-to-face. You probably missed out on some of your favorite in-person events. and some of you even experienced COVID-19 yourself or had it affect your family directly in devastating ways. This has been a challenge for all of us. Your dedicated faculty worked so incredibly hard to give you the best learning experiences in spite of COVID-19. The campus staff put in an incredible number of extra hours to make sure the environment at MSU-Northern was safe and you had access to everything you needed to be successful. There are important lessons that we can all take away from the experiences of this incredible time. First, embrace change and understand that it is inevitable. We all have great capacity to adapt to change. In fact, the old biology teacher in me will tell you that that's one of the characteristics of all living things. Those who have struggled the most in the past 18 months were those that were resistant to adaptation to the changing environment. Second, use your education to filter out the noise and make decisions based upon your own knowledge and ability to be a critical consumer of information. You're a college graduate. Use those honed critical thinking skills. Additionally, we are better working as a community for the good of all than as a large group of individuals focused on self. I commend Chancellor Kegel for leading us through the challenge of the pandemic as one community, one university. We were all working as a team in collaboration to ensure you, our students, could get to this day. Remember how important collaboration and mutual respect is as you begin the next phase of your life. You will need the support of your community to weather the storms of life. Surround yourself with a community of people who have the integrity and moral compass to do what is right for everyone. Finally, life's most challenging moments can give us great opportunity to forge new lasting relationships among colleagues and friends in our communities. I will be forever grateful for the opportunity Chancellor Kegel gave me to serve as MSU-Northern's public health officer during the pandemic. It felt good to use my training in public health to benefit our campus, but more importantly, it gave me a chance to know other staff, faculty, and students that I hadn't had the opportunity to cross paths with as much in my role as the director of the Little River Institute. I now have an even larger community of people who I value deeply in my life and trust they care for me as much as I do them. In closing, it has been my great honor to share in your special day, graduates. We are all very proud of you and the dedication you and your families have made in getting you here. This is one of my favorite events each year because so many of you have let me share in your journey. I encourage you to stop back on campus and visit us at MSU-Northern. Our greatest achievements are truly the successes of our graduates. We can hardly wait to see what you will do. Congratulations, graduates. And yes, as always, I am ready and willing to write you a letter of recommendation for your next adventure.
I'm tangled up. Thank you, Erica. And especially thank you for all you've done for MSU-Northern. She was immense help for the last 18 months in getting us to the point that we're at today. We didn't have to shut the university down. We didn't have to shut classrooms down. We still haven't had a peer-to-peer student-to-student transmittal of COVID-19. We did what we needed to do, and we came out of it honestly better than any other university. So thanks, Erica. At this time, Darlene Sellers, Interim Dean of the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education, will present the degree candidates.
Chancellor Cagle, I'm pleased to present the degree candidates for the Master of Education and the Master of Science in Education. Candidates for the Master of Education degree in Counselor Education and Master of Science in Education degree in Instruction and Learning, please rise. These candidates have met the requirements for the Master of Education degree and the Master of Science degree in Education and are recommended by the graduate faculty for their degrees. Professor Curtis Meeby and Professor Joyce Mafundi Finn, please come forward to assist with the hooting of the candidates. Marshals Mortensen and Milligan, will you please escort the new graduate degree recipients to the stage to receive their diplomas, hoods, and congratulations. I request the audience reserve its applause until all graduates have crossed the stage.
Cachet Bism Ahenecue Baker. Yes, you can. Robert Joseph Ferguson. Allison Jones. Aaron P. Kinneman. Lindsay Ruth Marshall. Jerry Bud Redfield. Brittany Lee St. Pierre. Lisa Jean Waller-Stroh. Stacy M. Sullivan. Amy Christine Benson. Sandy Lynn Bitterman. Jason Paul Christensen. Carly M. Danielson. Natasha Messerly Doney. Kendra L. Dyer. Casey Henry. Heather Ann Jorgensen. Kelly Marie Katani. Cassie Elizabeth Leeds. Doreen Ann Peterson. Kimberly Jean Tomerup. Alyssa Lee Zelmer.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of Higher Education of the State of Montana, I hereby confer upon you the degrees of Master of Education and Masters of Science in Education for which you have qualified. Please join me in recognizing our newest master degrees.
Chancellor Kegel, I'm pleased to present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Education, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Arts. Candidates, please rise. Chancellor Kegel, these candidates, upon recommendation by the faculty of the appropriate departments, have met the requirements for the baccalaureate or the associate degree programs. Graduates, please be seated until the marshals ask you to move to the podium to receive your degrees. I also ask that members of the audience to please hold your applause until all graduates have crossed the stage. Marshals Mortensen and Milligan, will you please escort the new graduates to the platform to receive their degree, and congratulations.
John M. Sabek. Abigail Blatter. Devin Elizabeth Joe Brewer. Leslie Brooking. Brianna M. Conrad. Rachel E. David. Catherine Scarlett Dyer. Brooke Elliott. Aaron Fromm. Adam J. Gardner. Elizabeth Ann Gardner. Lana Joy Gibbs. Jacelyn Hassa. Emily Nicole Johnson. Tammy Maddock. Ariana McLeod. Jonathan S. Nipus. Annie L. Poole. Samantha Josephine Portwine. Victoria Reynolds. Griffin Ricker. Hayun L. Rush. Sasha Snow. Nancy Iron Star Stiffarm. Katie Lynn Tinker. Madison Jean Tomerup. Rainey White. Amber M. Whiteclay. Bo Zane Hyatt. Mia Lee Lamebow. Jara Danae Gray. Caitlin Marie Nystrom. Shantae Marie St. Clair. Emily Magdalene Tripp. Darcy J. Azure. Taylor Lee Carter. Coda Elizabeth Cochran. Aaron Calloway Dolphe. Stuart Klaus Henning. Peyton Nicole Howard. Sarah Catherine Morgan. Desiree Marie Nagel. Wiley J. Novak. Heavenly Goldie Pruitt. Erica Stearns. Justina Patricia Wilkerson. We will now pause for a moment to recognize and remember Paige Donegan, a dear friend and classmate lost to us only weeks ago. Paige graduates today with a degree in criminal justice, and her family joins us virtually to celebrate Paige's achievement. Congratulations, Paige, you are missed. Morgan Lynn Lilly. Aaron Grace Longknife Jake. Maceo McCadney. Morgan McCrary. Tia Elizabeth Roberts. Morgan Ainsley Stamp. Olga Sadi. Dina Sunchild. Ashley L. Graham. Marlene R. Work. Kayla Berg. Megan E. Brewer Guyant. Elizabeth Lindbom. Megan Ann Brown. Chelsea K. Daniken. Carissa Kirsten Liebelt. Destiny Marie Martin. Stephanie M. Moog. Shania Ray Neubauer. Kendra Danielle Pipkin. Kyle J. Vandenaker. Megan D. Vandenaker.
Thank you, darling. Graduates, please rise. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of Higher Education of the State of Montana, I hereby confer the degrees of Bachelors of Science in Education, Bachelors of Science, Bachelors of Arts, Associate of Science, and Associate of Arts programs for which you have qualified. You may now move the tassel from the right to the left side of your mortarboard. Now, please turn around and face the audience and take this opportunity to thank your family and your friends for their support in helping you achieve this milestone. Please be seated. In closing, I would also like to recognize the impact that Montana State University Northern has had across generations and throughout the years. Any member in the audience who is a graduate of Northern Montana College or Montana State University Northern, please stand. Welcome home. Please allow the graduates and faculty to leave the gymnasium first. Once outside, please utilize proper social distancing while congratulating our graduates. Now, please stand and remain standing until the recessional has been concluded.